I am officially 22 weeks pregnant, which is a week ahead of what I actually thought I was. We had the anatomy scan this week, and it's just been a really good week comparatively. A lot of the pregnancy has sucked, and that is just big disclaimer here, that is not my way of complaining that I am pregnant. I'm very happy to be pregnant, even though she was a surprise. I'm very happy to be pregnant. We didn't think that, you know, we would be able to get pregnant naturally. We thought that we'd have to turn me into a science experiment, essentially, when we were ready, and that's not what happened. So I'll talk more about why we thought all those things later. But yeah, that's not my way of complaining. We're very happy to be pregnant, but it has been a super challenging pregnancy. Just to start out, welcome to my zoo. This is Esme. Hi, kitty cat. She's so sweet. And she will be joining us for the video today, clearly. And we also have Gracie. Say hello, Gracie. She will be joining us as well. Oh, I love you, Tazo T. I love you so much. Anatomy scan. So, confirmed that she's a girl. Look at all this, by the way. Do you guys get this many pictures when you go to your scans? I mean, this is like a crazy amount of pictures. So there's a really, really cute one with her profile. I'm gonna try to show it here. And I'm not really good at focusing things on the camera, so I apologize. But this one right here, look at that. She's so cute, oh my gosh. And so since she was confirmed to be a girl, Chad and I came to an agreement on the name, and her name is Tennyson Faith, spelled Tennyson, Faith Wilson. So we got our little girl and we got her name. Hormones have been crazy this week. And everyone, you know, keeps talking about pregnancy hormones and how they're just so out of control and you have these mood swings. I haven't had mood swings up to this point. They hit this week. I mean, like a ton of bricks they hit this week. Oh my gosh. I wake up the next day and I am just angry at the world. Like, I am so angry. I cannot even explain it. Thank God it was on my day off where I had to go to my anatomy scan, because I don't know how I would have seen clients that day. Like, this was like seeing red. Go protect yourself. Like, hide from me, please. It was so bad. And so I was telling my nurse about it, you know, at the OBGYN's office, and I was like, I just don't know why I'm so angry today. And she's like, oh baby, it's hormones, but you know, there's a super moon too. So now I have to worry about the lunar cycle as well? Like, what kind of crap is that? Stretch mark resolution. So I have been putting a strategy together, been doing a lot of research, watching a lot of vlogs about stretch mark prevention. What seems to have the best feedback altogether unanimously is coconut oil. A lot of people like to use this after they give birth as well on their breasts, because you don't have to worry about removing it before the baby feeds, which I do plan on breastfeeding. It's completely safe to use coconut oil, of course, because it's food grade. So I got organic virgin coconut oil, and I'm going to use this at night. That's what's recommended because it is very greasy and can stain your clothing to wear it during the day. So I'm just going to apply it at night. What I got to wear during the day is Duderma, or Duderme. I'm sorry. That's what it is right there. There are a few different reasons. First of all, it's completely vegan and it's not tested on animals. Second of all, this was one of the most highly recommended stretch mark prevention creams that I saw. And a lot of people like it because it has a cooling sensation. So if you have any itching, which I do, you know, scratching actually exacerbates the effects of stretch marks or makes you more prone to getting them. So the stretch mark prevention cream, this one, since it has a cooling sensation, it helps a lot with the itching. I can tell you firsthand that that is 100% true. It is so nice to put this on, and I itch so much less throughout the day. This little tube right here is supposed to last you 3 months. I don't know if I buy that entirely. It is 3.4 fluid ounces. And the website says that it lasts 3 months if applied 2 to 3 times daily, I think. Don't quote me on that, but at least twice daily. I don't think I could get 3 months out of this, I'll be honest with you, but I think it'll last me in the next 4.5 months if I'm using it in the mornings, which is how I'm using it. So, Duoderm in the mornings, coconut oil at night, and apparently that's the magic for preventing stretch marks. So my bra size is still the same. I'm still a 32C, more comfortably a 34C because I just don't like tight fitting things anymore. But I am kind of pushing it on the C cup. I see that, I see my horizons expanding pretty soon, to be honest with you. Okay. I started wearing maternity clothes for the first time this week. So I didn't realize until I put maternity clothes on that I had been, okay, I knew I had been avoiding them, but I just didn't realize how much I had been avoiding wearing maternity clothes. Honestly, I really didn't start showing until probably 2 weeks ago. You know, with clothes on. Now when I was naked, that was a different story. You could definitely tell that something was going on in my uterine region. However, with clothes on, you know, a lot of people kept telling me, are you sure you're pregnant? You know, it's apparently you're 4.5 months along or 5 months along, and we still don't see any evidence of you being pregnant. And I was okay with that. You know, pregnancy is just so weird. This is my first baby. And the changes that your body goes through, they're just really, really strange. So I had a really hard time adjusting to them. I know for quite some time I kept saying I don't want to buy maternity pants because that's something pregnant women wear. And I realized the hilarity of that statement in my mind. I realized the hilarity of it when I was saying it and the weird looks I would get from people, because it's like, okay, sister, you realize you're 4 months pregnant, right? You realize that thing that's made for you. But I just couldn't bring myself to buy maternity pants. Now, what kept happening was that, you know, I would unbutton the pants, I would go up in pants sizes, you know, I would find pants that I would wear really, really low and just go without breathing all day. And I finally had to go and buy maternity pants this week because I was to the point where I was unbuttoning and unzipping my pants and then putting my shirts on and wearing long shirts over them. And just to keep things classy, I went with the maternity pants, and I have to tell you, I heard angels singing the first time I put maternity pants on. Okay, so they're not sexy. They're not sexy at all when you show, you know, what's actually going on here. It's the band that goes all the way around. These are from the Motherhood Maternity line, but they're so, so incredibly comfy. And the great thing about them is that, you know, I didn't realize how much body shaming I was doing to myself because I didn't really have a noticeable belly yet. So I would just keep going up in size with my pants. You know, pre-pregnancy I was a size 3 and I had bought up to like a size 7, and I just was doing a lot of body shaming, which I don't endorse for anyone to do, you know, especially someone when you're pregnant. And I didn't even realize it was going on, to be honest with you. So getting back into the maternity pants was really enlightening for me because I was a totally different size in maternity pants. You know, I was back to, you know, basically a size 3. These are extra smalls, and it was a reminder of, okay, Jess, this weight that you're putting on, it's because you're pregnant. And I know that's so obvious, but it was really validating for me because it's something I had been struggling with without realizing it. So thank you to the person who invented maternity pants. So up until this week, my uterus has not been distended. It has still been very close to my pelvic bone. It hasn't really gone out past my pelvic bone, which is why people were saying, you know, that they couldn't really tell I was pregnant. Within the past like week and a half or week, people have really started making comments like, oh, you finally look pregnant, things like that. And so I had also felt a lot of like round ligament pain, which is usually a pretty good sign, you know, that you're getting additional weight in the front because that round ligament is supporting your womb. So up until this point, you know, Tennyson has been kicking strongly for 3 weeks now. I mean, I never really got the flutters that everyone else talks about, like where you can't really tell if it's gas or a kick. It was like full-on karate chops from the very beginning. There was no doubt in my mind, like homegirl was kicking her way out. And it just, like, at first it was exciting, but then it started to get really real. And what I mean by that is that because my uterus had not distended past my pelvic bones, all of the kicks and movement that she was doing, because she moves a lot, it would actually make me sick to my stomach because it just felt very internal, you know. So now that she's like out, now that my uterus is distended, the kicks are much more comfortable. Like before, they were making me nauseated because it literally felt like my stomach was just turning, which no one ever thinks is a good thing. And I would just get really, really nauseous when she would move around a lot. And so now I can actually enjoy it a little more. It's still pretty shocking because she's kicking down low a lot, but it's really a lot more manageable. It doesn't make me nauseous at all. It's kind of cute. My husband, he's felt her kick before. And he's felt her move before, but it's been like one time here and there, and then, you know, it's like she could sense that it was him and was like, nah, Dad, sorry, I saved that for Mom. Well, a couple nights ago, I had been telling him that I felt so strange because, especially like before my uterus was distended, I've been telling him, like, I know there's a baby in there, but there's a part of me that is 100% certain that one of those things from Alien is just gonna come flying out of my stomach, and that's actually what's going on in there. Either that or a fish is like flopping around, because that is what it feels like. And then when you see your stomach move, that's when the assumption that it's one of those things from Alien really kicks in. And he's always like, babe, you know, other people don't say things like that. I think he was like waiting for my maternal instincts to kick in, and I was like, no, it's really weird. You don't understand. You have to feel it. 2 nights ago, felt it. Like she was literally like just moving everywhere, and it felt like a fish flopping around. And so he puts his hand there and he waits for it, and then he feels it and he's like, oh. And he goes, oh. He tries to move his hand, and he's like, I can't feel that anymore. It's really weird. It's really weird. So it's not just me anymore. We're gonna be bad parents together. Food aversions. So up to this point, homegirl has been pretty set on the fact that she doesn't want anything besides bread and cheese. I've been living off of mac and cheese and grilled cheese sandwiches. And if you know me, you know that is so far from what I typically enjoy. I was a vegetarian, I've been a vegetarian for 10 years, and I eat really healthy. Like I love spring greens and spinach and kale. And I no lie have not been able to enjoy any of my favorite foods throughout the entire pregnancy. But then magic happened this week, and I actually had a salad for the first time in like 4 months. But I did have cheese sticks with it too. My rings still fit. So I have my ring from Granny, and I also have my wedding ring, 4.5. This one is larger because it doesn't go on my ring finger, but they still fit, no problem. I weighed 131 pounds at my last visit, which was on Tuesday, and today is Friday. Is today Friday? Today's Friday. I weighed 131 pounds on my last visit, which means that I have gained a total of 11 pounds throughout the pregnancy, which my doctor was very happy with. Tonight I was at the grocery store and I got really sharp round ligament pain. The round ligament is the ligament that actually supports your uterus. So it's at the bottom, and I believe it's in the shape of a half moon. A lot of women talk about this, and you know it when you get it. A lot of people wonder what it is. You know it when you get it. It literally feels like a rubber band that is holding up your belly, is just stretching to the max. That's what it feels like. It feels like a rubber band inside your body that is just being stretched. And so I usually get that round ligament pain around the same time that I'm getting the pains from where your uterus is stretching, which makes total sense, because if your uterus is stretching and expanding, then the ligament that supports it would be strained also. Fatigue. I thought that I was through this, you know, even though I had read up that, you know, fatigue will come back at the, you know, toward the end of your 3rd trimester or even before that. But it was my understanding that I would get the fatigue like I had in the 1st trimester, you know, only in the 3rd trimester. Like the 2nd trimester, it was my understanding, is like the dream trimester. Well, I think that that's true to a certain extent, but the fatigue is totally back, and it hits me at the weirdest of times. So it's not back every day, but 1 minute I will just be doing something and have all the energy in the world, and then I just crash. You know, I'm done. And before I was pregnant, if I started crashing, because, you know, I was really into my Red Bull, if I started crashing, I could fight through it. I could soldier through it. No big deal, whatever. I'm gonna get a little less sleep tonight. No problem. You can't do that when you're pregnant. You can't. Like, if you try to fight through the fatigue, you pay for it. Your body's like, okay, okay, that's all right. You go ahead, girl. You fight. We'll see who wins this fight tomorrow. You will get physically sick if you try to fight through it. Like, first comes the fatigue, then comes the body aches, and then comes the nausea. So you get to make the choice about how many symptoms you want to have. Might as well give in to the fatigue. I don't like it, but you win, pregnant body. 0-1, you win. I've had minimal swelling this week in my feet and ankles. Thank goodness, because I was really running into a lot of that last week, and I had elephant ankles, and it was really disturbing. We are choosing between birthing centers right now. So we are currently under care at Flagler Hospital in OBGYN Associates, and they are phenomenal. However, it is my understanding, because I haven't toured the birthing center yet, but we do want a natural unmedicated childbirth, no epidural. There are multiple reasons for that. Now, if that does have to for some reason happen, we're completely open to that. But we're doing things like hypnobirthing and having a doula and lots of preparatory steps to, if at all possible, go through an unmedicated childbirth. So part of our birthing plan is to actually have a birth videographer. We would really like to capture, this is our first child, we'd like to capture everything. But there is a no videography policy at Flagler Hospital. Another birthing center that we're going to be touring is the UF Birth Center. They do allow videography. Now, the number one concern for us, of course, is ethical and specialized in good quality care. So, you know, that the whole videography policy, that's beside the point. If you know, the care at this place is much, much better than the care at this place. That's all we really care about, and we have been like taking such good care of at Flagler. However, if we have the option, we would like to capture, you know, the magic of childbirth. We'd like to be able to remember that day. So right now we're choosing between the two centers, and we're meeting the staff at both, and we will keep you updated on our decision from there. I am sleeping great this week. I've been struggling with insomnia throughout the pregnancy. This week it has not been a problem. I get exhausted and I go right to sleep. And I've had no restless leg also. Haven't gotten anything done on the nursery yet because we're still working on getting the flooring changed out in there. I think we've decided to go with a tile that looks like wood. But we have some beautiful furniture to go in there, beautiful decorations. Same thing with the guest bedroom, but we can't really do anything with that when the floors are gonna get ripped up from under everything. So that's on hold until we get the floors put down, hopefully within the next month. Nesting mode, I've been nesting like crazy. I'm having people paint the house. I'm like having the floors changed. I am having the grout cleaned and resealed and all that good stuff. Nesting mode times 1,000. Like I'm trying to do 1,000 million trillion things at once. That made no logical sense, but you get where I'm going. I'm just nesting like crazy. I'm happy to have energy back most of the time, and then I do try to give into my body whenever she slows me down. Chad is changing the litter boxes for the cats. This is really cute, actually. So since he has been on litter box duty for the past 5.5 months, I'm sorry, he has come up with this brilliant strategy. He just decided to buy bigger litter boxes that hold more litter, and he has to change less often. Not gonna happen that way. But it was cute that he tried. He has been doing a really good job of changing it out, and my mom usually tries to help him and change it whenever she comes as well. So it's a team effort. The due date is June 5th. I do think that she'll come a little bit before that. I think she'll probably arrive in May. It's just a feeling I have, nothing scientific about it. But the doctors did say, because my menstrual cycles were not regular before, my menstrual cycles were not every 4 weeks or every month. They were every 4 to 6 weeks. So my doctors said, you know, your due date is June 5th, but it's really difficult to predict because of the irregularity when my ovulation is. So they basically said, this is the due date, but here's the window, and be ready to do this thing within this window. Last thing I'm gonna show, everyone's wanting to see pregnant belly. So, let's see, sexy maternity pants. And from the side. Okay, so this was my 22 weeks pregnant video. I did not get a chance to film the haul just because I don't want this video to be several hours long. I'll film that in another video, but I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching. Excuse me, Gracie. Excuse me, Gracie. Move it or lose it. Thank you. I don't even know where to start. Of course, the second I start recording, you come in here. This literally the second I start recording.
It's the best.
This is my husband that told me I shouldn't get my placenta encapsulated, that I should just eat it like animals do in the wild. Yeah. Yeah. So I have a deal for you, baby. I will eat half if you will eat half.
Deal.
Have you ever seen what a placenta looks like?
You ever seen some of the stuff I've ate?
Let me make sure my camera's on. It is. That would have been so bad. I have one cat behind the couch also, and she always attacks her. Well, they attack each other. It's like a love-hate relationship. And Gracie chases both of them. Why are you coming out again?
Just to mess with you.
I know. Yes, Tennyson, this is what you're coming into. Isn't it exciting? It's so very exciting. It's in that house, that's what it is.